You ever wonder if God cares about the little stuff? I'm not talking about parting the seas or healing the blind. I mean everyday things, the ones that you could easily write off as coincidence. There's a story in the Bible in 2 Kings chapter 6 where a man loses an axe head in the river and God makes it float. That's not a world-changing miracle unless you're the guy who just borrowed that axe. But that story always blew my mind until the day my 7-year-old's toy plane got stuck in the tree and what he decided to do about it. Come on. So, NJ's outside flying his plane and it gets stuck in the tree. No ladder, no way to climb it. And without even coming to get me first, he stops and prays. And then he comes running inside to tell me something. He's so excited.
The plane got stuck in the tree. And I said, God, please make the wind blow the plane down.
And then what happened?
Then he did.
That's awesome.
And then it fell down.
Oh. Now, I could just chalk it up to, yeah, bud, the wind blew and the gravity did its thing. But when you're 6 years old, learning what it means to ask and talk to God for things, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Hold up. As I was thinking about that yesterday, it hit me. The same God who made iron float for a man who borrowed an axe head just answered my son's prayer about a toy plane. And here's what really hit me the most about it. I've been praying for guidance for a while, and my wife has too for years now, for ways to teach my boys about God. Not just to hear him, but to actually know him and see him. And not just through my stories that I have or Sunday school, but through their own experiences. And right there in our backyard, God answered 3 prayers at once. NJ's for his plane, and my wife and I's for his heart. See, the world says it was the wind. Science makes a strong point for gravity. But why not say God picked the timing? And really, if you think about it, when else in the world would there have been a more perfect time to show a 6-year-old and his parents the true power of God? Because if God cares enough to make an iron axe head float, if he cares enough to drop a styrofoam toy plane out of the tree at the exact second my son is asking for it, then there is nothing in your life that is too small for him to care about. Think about it. Of all the prayers that were going on in that moment, he chose to answer one little boy's who wanted nothing more than to play with his plane some more. And that's why I believe, not just because I've seen him in the big miracles, but because I've seen him in the little rescues, the kind you could ignore if you weren't looking, the kind that show he's not just great because nothing's too big for him. He's great because nothing is too small for him. So here's my challenge for you. This week, choose a week, slow down, notice the little stuff, the prayers that you think are too small, the moments you'd normally write off as coincidence. And if you've been waiting on big miracles, start with a small one. Ask him for something today and watch what happens. One of my favorite movies growing up was Angels in the Outfield. And the more that I believe, the more that what that kid says, it could happen, I believe. So give it a try. And all right. Day 225 down. Remember, be kind, Be great, dial it in, and most importantly, keep on sending it. Listen, did you know a total solar eclipse only happens because the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon and also 400 times farther away. Perfect alignment, pure coincidence, or perfect design? With that, it's time to go be an adult. It's lunch time.